There we go. We're live. We've got our lovely background with the Atari over a glorious wood background. It's very 70s. So, good. We're live. Stream is healthy. Let me pause the actual video. There we go. There.
Hi, world.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of H-Bit Gaming, short for History Bit Gaming. Today, we're finally going to be checking out the Atari 2600 like we were originally going to do last week before we had technical difficulties. I posted on Twitter exactly what hell I had to go through to get this set up to actually be properly working for live streaming. So, due to popular demand, we're starting with Pac-Man. And we're also eating Skittles because it's getting close to Halloween. So one fun thing about the Atari system is in order to select different game modes, there's actually a select button on the Atari itself that allows you to cycle through them. And then you have to hit the reset button to actually choose what mode you want to do. So we'll set up a 2-player mode and get this underway. And I'm probably going to die pretty quickly.
That's okay. Atari is my game. Unlike last week, where I suffered a lot.
See, I'm already dead.
Pac-Man is usually my game, but we'll see. It could go downhill very quickly.
I believe in you. See, you're already doing better than I was.
They both control the volume on the TV, so you can use either.
Ah, there we go. I just wasn't pushing the button hard enough. There we go. That way we can still hear it, but hopefully it won't really pick up an echo through our microphones. Though, since I fixed the audio lag that we had an issue with in the first episode, that shouldn't be that much of a problem anyway. Oh, jeez. 20 to 273.
Oh my god, I'm gonna die. No!
Oh, man. This is already... Oh!
No! I was doing
close.
so well.
You got trapped in a corner there. It happens to me all the time. Come on. Yeah. What now? What now?
This is the game I used to always go to arcades to play.
Yeah. So actually, fun fact about this game. Atari, back when they first released it, that was close. He almost hit me before I ate the power circle. Power, I forget the exact term for it. Oh boy. Okay. Juke him out. Go down here.
Oh my god, I totally forgot you can do that.
No. I almost snuck through. But yeah, so while you're playing. Fun fact, Atari had an exclusive license to port the arcade version of this game to their system. And their competitor, the Magnavox Odyssey Squared, or Odyssey 2, I guess. I don't know exactly how you're supposed to pronounce it. It's written using like a squared symbol. They came out with their own game. I think I posted something about this on Twitter, called Casey Munchkin with an exclamation mark at the end of it. And that prompted... They actually put that out a year before Atari got around to releasing their port of Pac-Man. And it was so similar that it prompted Atari... Oh man, that was close. It prompted Atari to actually sue them, which at first the lawsuit got thrown out. But eventually Atari ended up winning because it was so similar with just minor gameplay changes that I guess they argued only accentuated how much they stole from Pac-Man. So eventually they did win the lawsuit, and that resulted in Magnavox having to no longer sell that game. I ended that level on 666 points, by the way.
He finished at 316. I think you ate more ghosts than I did.
Maybe. Oh, what is that? Is that supposed to be a... Oh,
I think that's like a fruit, the modern day fruit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which one it was. I guess a lemon. It's yellow in the middle. But But yeah, as you can see, the graphics, even from original like Nintendo, like the NES Classic times, graphics were very primitive on this system, which makes sense, especially when you put it into context. This came out in what, 72? Oh,
72?
he changed right as I hit him. 72, which, to put that in context for everybody who wasn't alive back then, including myself.
Me.
Star Wars,
No!
the first of the original Star Wars trilogy, the first movie wouldn't be released in theaters until 77. So that's 5 years before the Star Wars A New Hope came out. Which, that movie seems so old at this point now, too, that, like, it's kind of amazing to think about, like, a world without Star Wars. Okay.
It's a world I live in.
Actually, I used to, one of my, oh god. One of my really early memories of playing video games is kind of lines up with watching Star Wars, the original trilogy on original VHS. Damn. But I feel like I had the Super Nintendo at that point. I might have had the N64 as well, because I think the VHS trilogy version we had was like the re-release from 90s.
I'm gonna start crying now.
Oh man, look at that flicker too. Trying to process the ghosts. I mean, it does make them look more ghostly. I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of glitches with this game too, where if you sit in the right spot, the ghosts won't know what to do and they'll just like endlessly go around in circles. But I don't know if that was this version of Pac-Man or if that was a later re-release that had that issue.
Gonna look it up and see if we can do it.
Alright, I'm getting in the groove too. It actually kind of helps when I just babble on and talk about random trivia because I don't focus on not dying as much. And I go into that like subconscious game mode where I can... It's just purely based on reflex. Oh man. Also, what? I died.
Time to pay attention.
So, one thing you had actually mentioned before we started streaming is that you were shocked by how, man, they
don't like me.
Not want you to get away. How responsive the joystick controllers are, and I agree with that. Like, for as stiff as they feel, they are extremely responsive.
Because compared to like what I grew up on, the GameCube, the little joysticks on there are very, very wiggly. And even those don't respond super well, but these are very stiff and still move with Pac-Man very well.
Yeah. Every once in a while, and it might just be because I'm using this... I almost had the power pellet. I think that's what they're called, power pellets.
Ah, that's not me.
What?
Oh, I think we're done.
Oh, I guess I'd gotten enough points that I got an extra life. I didn't even realize. All right. Let's try out one of the other game modes and see what the heck the difference is. I think it's just difficulty.
The map? I think the map gets different.
Let's bump it all the way up to 8 is the highest you can go. There's also a dedicated switch on the Atari that allows you to play in black and white instead of color, in case you didn't have a color TV back then. Alright, so we're on 8. Can't tell if the ghosts are slower or if that's just because we were playing on later levels. The map looks exactly the same. Alright. So yes, after this game, we're going to be playing Asteroids, I guess, because Asteroids and Space Invaders were the next two highest voted for games. Yeah, the ghosts seem dumber in this.
I feel like they move a lot slower. looks like.
Which is weird. You'd think the higher the level of game
Would be more difficult.
go to 8, they would actually like get harder, but I guess it's the opposite? I don't know. They don't even seem to really be trying to actively chase me right now. They're just kind of doing their own thing. Just weird. Oh, I forgot in this version of Pac-Man, you actually have to eat the power pellets as well to finish the level. In later versions, the power pellets were optional, yeah. Huh. Yeah, the ghosts want nothing to do with me right now. What's going on? Hi.
I guarantee you the second I try, they're going to chase me.
Hi, buddy. Oh, no. My hubris almost got the best of me. No. Yeah, wow. These ghosts are just super bad at their jobs. Oh. How the heck did I manage to get out of that? Whew, timing. Oh, okay, alright. So yeah, Atari is one of those systems that I don't know as much about the history of it as I did with the other ones. But I do have a little bit more of a personal history with it because I used to go over and visit my grandpa back when I was younger, and he had the system to begin with, which is actually where I got my system from after he passed away in like late 2000s. I ended up inheriting it from him, so I have a lot of really good memories. I just died. A lot of really good memories of going over and like having sleepovers at my grandparents' house, and we'd play Atari together. And I'd stay up way past my bedtime and watch like all the types of shows that are on Boomerang now, before Boomerang was a thing. Like Cartoon Network used to do like reruns of like Johnny Quest and the Smurfs and all that kind of stuff. So I have a lot of memories of just staying up way past my bedtime, eating a whole bunch of candy, playing Atari, and watching really old school retro cartoons.
That's what grandparents are for.
Yeah. Scooby-Doo was another one. Scooby-Doo we'd watch together all the time. And got like the really classic Scooby-Doo episodes. And it was like one of my favorite cartoon characters as a kid because of that, I think. Need another Skittles.
No, I was so close. That was really good. That was almost as good as my gameplay.
I got a little too cocky, I think is what it is. Another game we should definitely play at some point tonight is Adventure. I actually used to play that one with my sister all the time.
Your turn.
Oh no! Oh! I'm so glad the ghost went the opposite direction. So I almost ran directly into them again. Like that.
So my history with the Atari doesn't go back too far, but when we were cleaning out my grandparents' basement, we found our original Atari, which I don't know if it was the 2600 or not. It may have been like is the 2600 the original one? Ah, my turn again.
I think the 2600 was the first Atari. I don't know if there was one before that. I know later on they ended up releasing the 7200, and I think there were a few other ones. I do know they released different versions of the 2600 that I think the only real difference was the outside casing. I'm not sure if there were different switches or not.
Because compared to yours, that's all black. Mine looks more like an air conditioner, and it's all brown. And
yeah, they had the fake wood paneling, which was also a version of the 2600 that I think might have been released first. I think this one that I have is a slightly smaller, sleeker version that's more metal looking. that they probably released later on, kind of like how they had the original fat PS2s and then they later on released the slim versions. As technology got better and they could fit more into smaller spaces. But
yeah, we basically found it in my grandparents' basement. We figured out that we cannot plug it into a modern TV very easily, as we figured out again setting up this time. So we found this very odd little adapter piece that allowed us to plug it into a modern TV pretty easily. And me and my dad sat in our basement and played the Atari for hours. All the basic games like Pong and Space Invaders and stuff like that. Just learning like what video gaming was like at the time.
Yeah.
When my parents were kids.
And that's the great thing about like a lot of the Atari games is they may not be a lot to look at necessarily.
They're so much fun though.
They're just addictive, and because they weren't able to like focus on graphics like a lot of like current generation games are, they had to focus on trying to make them fun and make them stuff that you wanted to come back and play despite that, because of the limitations. I think a lot of them are fun because of the limitations and not despite of them. Like, because the limitations were what made them have to try to figure out how to make something great out of what they had to work with. Let's see. He left his home.
Oh, this is you again, because you have the extra life.
Yeah, in later versions, I think even in the original arcade version, the ghosts were different colors, which the Atari could only handle a certain amount of... Why am I still... Oh, right, because I beat the level. The Atari could only handle so many different colors at one time. I don't remember exactly how many... Actually, if you want to look that up real quick, the color palette that it had to work with. Because it was an 8-bit system, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, presumably 8 different colors. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it translates. But yeah, same with the sound effects and everything too. They were very limited with space on the cartridges, so they could only really have...
They had 128 colors.
128 colors. Okay. Right. 8-bit just means that like that's more to do with the code, which will the amount of code that can be processed at one time, I think. Not so much the color schemes. Jeez. Well, I think we're getting down to the end.
How many lives did you get?
I think you get another one every time you beat a level.
Crushing me right now.
Oh man. Come on. Eat it. Eat it, Pac-Man.
I like how this Pac-Man looks, for lack of a better term, it looks dumber than the ones that I'm used to.
Yeah, he looks a little derpy. But
he just like, he has a little tiny mouth and all it does is open and close. Like, it's very, very simple. Nom 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 nom.
I also like how he just kind of like melts into nothingness when he gets hit by the ghosts.
He just like folds out.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Actually, like with really good quality graphics, that would be really creepy to see like a character just like implode like that. It's like from the movie, the old movie The Fly, where I think one of the teleportation mishaps was the thing that got teleported, like, showed up on the other end inside out. So it was like, ugh, all gross and gory. Alright, so that's Pac-Man, or at least some of it. The basic gist of it. So, let's see. Asteroids and Space Invaders got the same amount of votes. So which one do you think?
Let's do Space Invaders first.
Space Invaders first? Alright. Put Asteroids there. Okay. I'm getting a text message. So let me actually see if black and white actually works. It does. Okay. You can switch it on the fly too. Nice.
I don't like either of those color options.
Yeah.
They're both very, very difficult to see.
All right. Well, I already died. I don't think this has a 2-player mode. I think it's like you have to take turns thing.
That's cool.
There's stuff being shot at me, but I can't see anything that I should be firing at, so I'm not really sure what's going on.
There we go.
That's like the bonus one. What? Are they just invisible right now?
Is that because of the color mode we're in?
What's going on? Why? This is gonna make it so much harder. Why are they invisible until you shoot something? Oh no.
How do you change the color? What button do I click?
Let's try black and white. No, they're still
invisible.
invisible.
Still invisible.
Is it the mode maybe? Maybe it's because I switched the color modes. Let me try starting it. We'll start off in color and see if that helps. Alright, so theoretically hitting reset should start it, and okay.
There we go, now we can see them.
Well, okay, I guess that's one of the earliest examples of a glitch in video gaming. Because even though Atari wasn't the first home console, it, for all intensive purposes, it was one of the more popular ones. I think the Magnavox Odyssey is technically the first. Though, even the Magnavox Odyssey isn't the first video game in general. I think there was like a prototype video game that used radar censoring or something, radar imaging technology that obviously would be way too expensive for like home use. But I think that was one of the first actual video games ever made. And it was, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, a version of Pong. I'll have to look that up.
I think you're correct. I think it was a version of Pong. Because there were many versions of Pong before Atari even came out with their version.
Yeah. And a lot of games back in these days just kept getting remade into different versions of themselves, different ports for different systems. I think ColecoVision was behind Magnavox Odyssey, right? Or was that... Coleco might have been a different company altogether?
Let's see.
Yeah, gotta love this puke green and red, like bright red color scheme. They just... That one single alien just got rid of my entire fleet of defenses that I could hide behind. What a jerk.
Nah, Magnavox and the Magnavox Odyssey is just manufactured by Magnavox. It is the first commercial home video game console.
Yeah.
And it was released in '72 in the US.
They landed. The aliens have landed.
Oh man.
Actually, I wonder, okay, it cycles through the different colors on its own. Does that mean if you press reset while it's one color? No, okay, it just resets back to this. Wait a minute. Okay, there we go.
Oh, I died already.
Yeah,
I've never played this one.
I remember playing a remake of it at some point. Because I remember... They did a remake of it on N64 way later on down the line.
You can't really shoot them very fast.
No. Yeah, for this game, the bullets basically only come out as one. You can only
like every time they
bullet.
shoot one, you can shoot one basically.
And I think whenever you hit one, that allows you to fire another bullet. You can only have one bullet of your own on screen at any time.
Wait.
So if you hit one,
there we go,
and it gets rid of your first bullet, that's when you can shoot another one. But if you miss and it has to go all the way up to the top of the screen before it disappears...
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, I just missed again.
Alright. ColecoVision had its own systems as well.
Oh, well that was a really quick game.
It doesn't seem like Select... Oh, wait, no, okay. Select does do other things. You know what it was?
What?
Probably, okay. Wow, that's weird. So, see how the number in the top left keeps going up?
Yeah.
Those are the different game modes. So, certain game modes actively do have them invisible until you shoot them for some reason.
Yeah, now all these ones, they're all invisible.
And then, like, some of the higher ones... How high do these go? Some of the higher ones...
40. Oh, wow. Nope, there's still more. Still going.
The higher ones, the cover that you can use to protect yourself also start moving. I think the higher levels, you also have less lives. Wow. I'm betting it probably goes up to like 100 or something.
That's a lot. I don't think I'd be able to play all 100.
Yeah, I mean, back in these days too, they wanted to kind of make sure you got your money's worth out of each game. No, wait, what the hell? Why? Why would they need 100 and... I forget what the last one was. I'm not scrolling all the way through all of them again. If you want to play again real quick, I'm going to look more into ColecoVision.
Yeah?
But they had like 100...
Wait, pause. Can you pause it?
I don't think so.
Here, I'm gonna
They're moving a lot slower though.
do this. There we go. All right, now I'm ready.
So I know ColecoVision was Atari's main competitor at the time, or one of them.
I think this might be the game I am worst at so far from both weeks.
ColecoVision was released in 1982. Jeez.
Uh-oh, all my shields are gone.
Yeah,
Go,
once they reach that lower level, it's hard to see the bullets too because they don't stand out
They're
as much.
quite thin.
Yeah, they're really thin and they don't stand out that much against the background.
That's kind of a flaw in the design, I would think.
I think part of it too
Especially
is,
right now. I don't like this.
I think that yeah, it's just the game screen when nothing's being currently played. All right, I guess let's move on to Asteroids.
Okay.
I was going to say something. There's a little bit of noise with the current setup too that wasn't necessarily there in the original, like the way you would originally have the Atari plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of all the different cables it has to go through in order to make it compatible with modern TVs. But like, if you were to actually plug in directly to the TV, the footage would be a little bit clearer than what we're currently seeing. Whoa, that's trippy. I might need to put like a epilepsy warning on this video.
How do you play this? Oh my goodness, you just shoot the blocks?
Yeah,
The
you shoot
asteroids.
the asteroids that are coming around, and
Do they ever get closer to me? Do they shoot at me?
they don't shoot at you, but they do move across the screen. I think you can move forward and maybe backwards.
You can, but not very fast.
I think the longer you hold down forwards, the more momentum you pick up.
I died.
So early physics in video games, which is pretty cool to see. I like how the background music is basically just like...
It gets faster when the asteroids get closer.
It's basically just... it sounds like Jaws when the sharks...
It's like... No! Pew pew.
So yeah, there's a lot of like pixelated noise and stuff in the image that you can probably see on the live stream as well.
A new level. I'm just gonna stay right here and shoot them all right here. They loop through the screen really fast.
They do. Oh, you almost shot it before it hit you.
Yeah, that was a good game. That was real good. 1880. You're gonna get 5,270. That's my guess.
5,270, yeah. I don't know what the different... I'm sure the manuals also let you know exactly what each game mode is. I still don't understand why they have so many available for each game. Like Pac-Man only had like 8.
33? Nope, there's more.
Yeah, the select button is a little unresponsive at times, primarily because of the way it was designed. Alright, so there's only like 30 something. I guess I'll do game mode 2. That was weird. Why did it jump like that?
So, while you're playing, I am going to ramble off some Atari facts.
Cool. So,
what? You go first. Talk.
nice. I just died twice in a row. I don't think your prediction is going to come true. Of course, I was also trying to get used to the flying mechanic. Oh, that's right! Forgot about that. So, okay, pressing up on the joystick makes you move forward. The longer you hold it for, the faster you fly.
Oh, like that's why I was flying so slowly.
The more momentum you pick up. I remember doing this all the time as a kid and just going as fast as I could, gaining top speed, and then trying to like not die, and always die miserably. If you press down, left or right, turn you left or right. If you press down, you'll enter like hyperspace or whatever and disappear, and then reappear somewhere at random on the screen. Which is kind of a cool mechanic, but it can get you into trouble a lot if, I got 1420.
I won!
Congratulations.
Oh my god, first time!
Ooh, that was probably loud. Sorry about that, guys. I'm curious. I'm gonna try one of the higher levels. I think 30 something was the maximum. So try 33. I don't understand why when you start the game, the asteroids just like freak out and go all over the place on the screen. Okay, in this game too, you can fire a lot more bullets, a lot more rapidly.
I'm trying to figure out what Atari meant, and I had the start of the sentence in my notes, and then it just cut off. So I'm trying to figure it out, because now I'm curious.
Yeah. It's kind of like last week when we figured out what Hyundai meant.
Alright, it says, a move that threatens the immediate capture of one or more stones. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean.
It might be from a different video, like not a video game, but like a board game or something, like kind of like Go or something.
I think it meant like the time of immediate danger. I feel
weird why they would.
I feel like that was what it was named, but I'm gonna keep looking.
I wonder if like they named it that because they were like trying to threaten the old way of entertainment with their fancy new technology. Maybe. I mean, that would kind of make sense. That asteroid almost hit me. Jeez. Your bullets don't go very far in this game either.
I don't know, there seems to be a lot of different meanings for the word Atari.
I guess depending on different languages and stuff.
Yeah. They're mostly translations from Japanese, but the Atari is not a Japanese system, which is kind of like a curious thing as to why would they would use a Japanese word.
Yeah. That was close. That was really close. Come on, come on. Nope, shoot him.
The original price of the Atari was only $200 and included the console, 2 joysticks, a pair of paddles, and the combat game cartridge. And today, or in 2017, the value of that would be $900.
Jeez.
That is an expensive video game.
Yeah, imagine paying $900 for this technology nowadays.
I mean, it does include a lot of pieces compared to what like video games now will include. Like, if you buy an Xbox, maybe it comes with one controller and one very basic game.
Yeah.
This came with 2 controllers, well, 2 joysticks, 2 paddles, and a game. So I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a pretty good add-up. And you don't need all the external hard drives and stuff you need now.
Yeah.
For all the games that we play.
It's amazing how much cheaper technology in general has become, that they can sell the types of processing power that you would need for today's kind of graphics for like $300, $400 compared to like how the processing power included in this could basically only handle these types of graphics. And obviously graphics aren't the most important thing, but it's just interesting to me how quickly technology has advanced to over the years.
All right, next game.
Yeah. So we had Pong somewhere, but unfortunately, I'm not completely sure where it went. So
I wanted to play brain games because it seems like a game that I may be okay at.
What I should do to make this a little more organized is any games we've already played, we should probably put over somewhere out of the way so we don't have to sort through those while we're looking for new games. There goes there. Here's brain games. Actually, it says on the has all the different names of the games and what modes they are. So modes 1 through 4 are Touch Me. Modes 5 through 8 are Count Me. 9 through 10 are Picture Me. 11 through 14 are Find Me. 15 through 18 are Add Me. And 19 is Play Me. Use with keyboard controllers. I don't have.
Do we not have keyboard controllers? Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, let's see if any of these actually cooperate without keyboard controllers. But now I feel like I need to buy keyboard controllers for my own personal use for this system, because I have a problem with hoarding old video game systems, and it's kind of an addiction.
Well, it's making for a good YouTube channel, so I'll take it.
It's true. Wait and go. What? I could press the button and change the tone slightly. Yeah, I don't think that mode's gonna work. Alright, so let's try, what was 5? Yeah, I don't...
I don't understand what's supposed to be happening.
I don't either. I don't think any of these are going to work without a keyboard controller, which...
I'm sad. Whoa.
That... Yeah, I think what I have to... okay, for this one, I'm pretty sure... At least this one's a little more self-explanatory. I'm pretty sure you need to organize the pictures in the way that they were before the countdown started. But it won't actually allow you to do any of that without a keyboard controller. So unfortunately, Brain Games is going to have to be relegated to an unplayable one for now. Unfortunate, but eventually maybe I'll find a keyboard controller for this system. I don't know how much that's going to cost though. Okay, we're done with Pac-Man. I guess let's do Frogger then, because we know for sure that one works with...
Frogger!
I definitely need to clean out these cartridges too eventually. They're a little hard to open up to be able to actually clean them, but some of them you can get in there and clean pretty easily. What? I don't know what that was about. You're still alive, so it's not like that unplugged. Don't understand why it made a boop boop sound at me.
Hopefully we're still good.
Yeah, I mean, it still says we're live. Let's see. the old time response of if the game doesn't work, just blow in it.
Pretty much. That's what I used to always do.
Which I have actually learned over the years. Apparently, that's bad for the games because a lot of the moisture can actually result in more corrosion on like the pins that connect to it. So like if you are gonna try to get it to work, a Q-tip and a little bit of rubbing alcohol is actually better to basically swab over the pins and try to get them to work again, kind of clean them up a little bit so the connection is better. All right, let's try this one more time. But since I don't have any rubbing alcohol or Q-tips right now, we're resorting to the old school method. This may be a game that I need to eventually clean out. Let's try a different game and just make sure it's not something with the connections. I know for sure this one works. Carnival by Coleco, which it's interesting that a Coleco game is released on the Atari. I wonder if that's before they... Yeah, okay, so this one works. But is it showing up? Alright. Well, luckily...
We have the technical difficulties picture.
Yes. Luckily, I made something specifically for this, so we will be right back as we figure out what the heck's going wrong. Think? No. For some reason the Elgato is being stupid. Let me try. Back to technical difficulties. Sorry, we thought we had it figured out.
How do you start the game? Reset or select?
Start is reset. Select is how you select the different ones. Okay, well it's showing up in Elgato for some reason, but it's not showing up in this.
Oh, that's how you launch. Whew.
Let's try that.
Oh, that was dumb.
Huh. I don't understand why it's not coming through. Alright, let me try.
This is very loud.
Yeah, it is. Why is it so much louder than the...
No. We're doing so well.
It was going so good. Alright, I'm putting up technical difficulties one more time, and hopefully we'll be able to be back with more of this. Sorry about this, guys.
Worst case scenario?
There we go.
Yay.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, ooh, echo. I can hear myself and it's weird. I'm gonna have a starburst as a victory celebration. Okay, so we are back with video pinball. We'll probably play a handful more games. I had to restart the actual streaming software for some reason because that baboop that we heard earlier was the USB connection being stupid and messing up. So I plugged it into a different connector.
This is a lot to look at. It's very stimulating.
So it's plugged into a different, hopefully more stable USB connection. So we shouldn't have the same issue anymore.
What is the proper way to hold this controller? I've been holding it like a block.
I think that's basically it. To be fair, the old joystick controllers were not exactly...
No.
There's no way you could have gotten that one. That was bull. They weren't exactly very well thought out.
Because, like, my hands are very small, so I can barely hold the controller.
They're functional, but... Why did it flash like that? That was weird.
I think it was something I hit in the screen.
Maybe that crossing that kind of showed up at the bottom. I always kind of... Whoa. Yeah, I always kind of just held them with my one thumb on the button at all times, and then just kind of use the joystick. But controllers definitely adapted over the years. I actually think I like the paddle controllers better than the original joystick controllers for the Atari, because those seem to fit your hand a little bit better. And
what?
I guess that was your last ball.
Sad.
Two of those, though, there was no hope of you being able to hit them because it went directly in the middle, which the game kind of gypped you out of it.
That's all right. All right, 95-14. Your turn.
95-14. Okay, so it's... Oh, you hold down on it in order to... Oh, and then... Okay. You hold down to pull the plunger down, and then you hit the button to... I haven't pressed a single button aside from releasing the ball so far. Literally. Of course, as soon as I put the controller down, that's when I'm going to need to hit something, but so far I haven't pressed a single button aside from releasing the ball.
Looks like you're going to beat me.
Without even playing. What the hell?
You're already at half the points I had.
Literally, I'm going to put the controller down and see how long it takes the ball to go out on its own. I'm not even touching the controller right now.
Yep, you won.
See, this is just more proof that the game just screwed you over. Like, it was not about skill. It was just about the game deciding it did not want you to win. What? Still not even touching the controller. I'm just gonna eat candy and watch. You know what? That's probably why it's called video pinball.
Because you just watch it.
Because you just watch.
There we go. Now you're gonna die.
Yeah. Okay.
It's okay. You still have 2 more balls. And 2,000 points.
All right. I guess while we're finishing up this, if you want to do some more random Atari facts.
Yeah.
Or other random ColecoVision facts and other systems and companies from the time period.
Atari facts.
Still can't get over. I somehow managed to beat your score because the game was just like, I'm going to have the ball just be stupid and bounce around everywhere. This goes to show you how much luck is actually involved in this game and not skill.
Ah, okay. Well, that was an ad that just popped up on my screen. Here we go. Let's hope that doesn't happen. No! Oh my goodness. My mouse on my computer tends to spaz out a lot, and it's doing it right now. But luckily, I have a touchscreen.
Oh! You could do both of them at one time by pressing up.
Oh, well, I would have just done that then.
I could make a dance.
Oh my goodness. Stop spazzing out. My poor computer mouse.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I will momentarily have Atari facts for us. Alright. I'm gonna do it on my phone because
okay.
My laptop don't like me.
Well, I'm moving on to another game because this game just screwed me over too.
Alright, Atari fun facts.
Okay. Just whizzing through games right now. You know what? I'm gonna play Adventure because that was another game that I had said I wanted to play because I have memories of playing this with my sister all the time as a kid. When we would go over. I think it has other modes. I'm not completely sure. Yeah, it's got 3 modes. I don't know what they are. So this is one of the first, I think, games that actually had a semi-storyline. You're a little tiny pixel block, and you have to go around and collect items to unlock different areas.
Cool.
And then you can use this. There's a dragon later on in the game. You have to bring this to go defeat the dragon. I do also like how the pixel block character that you are is changes based on the surroundings. So like when it was in the yellow room, the pixel was yellow. Now that it's in like a greenish room, it changed to green. Now it's
red.
Yeah. All right, you can only pick up one item at a time. You can use the button to like let go of them and drop them. So you need that spear to be able to kill the dragon, but you need these keys to get through certain areas. I guess not there. Oh yeah, the maze. The labyrinth maze. Anyways.
Alright, so some Atari facts. So, on this website it says, the Wii Fit was great when it was invented in 1982. So, Atari created the first computerized exercise game in '82, and it was called Puffer. And a memo from the company stated there was a whole generation of kids and adults out there who aren't into sports and or don't get enough exercise. At the same time, there's a huge fitness market. We have seen how kids can become addicted to video games. So we're going to hook up an exercise bike to a video game where the bike is the controller. So, the basis for the Wii Fit game was actually established almost 30 years before it actually came out. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting.
I don't know anyone who has an exercise bike hooked up to a video game that was an Atari game. I'm interested in finding out what game that was or if it ever came out.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm being chased by a evil dragon. And he keeps like trying to eat me, but he would drop me.
The Atari doesn't seem to have as many cool facts about it as the other previous game system we played.
Yeah. I forget where I'm supposed to go in this. Oh, what? You can... Hold on. That's weird. I forgot about that. So you can pick up those... Get away from me, dragon. No, stop it. No, there's 2 of them. How am I not dead? They've been like eating me and I just run away. You can pick up this. Oh, okay. They only eat you if you're like stuck in their mouth for a certain amount of time. But it's weird to me that you can pick up the purple like tunnel and move it elsewhere to make passageways through otherwise solid walls.
Cool.
It's very odd to me. Alright, let's try.
Another cool fact about the Atari is that Pong, which was Atari's first game, was very similar to table tennis, the modern day game, and the first coin-operated Pong console was installed in 1972 in Sunnyvale, California, and within 2 years, there were 100,000 Pong consoles in bars across the nation.
Wow. Wow, that's a lot of them.
So that's a huge growth in 2 years. That shows how massively popular this game was for as basic as it is.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you don't really need a whole lot. You just need something simplistic but fun to play. Why is this bat thing carrying stuff around? That bat just... he just...
Didn't it just come in and swoop you?
No, he swooped past carrying the dragon.
Hey, good for that. That works for me.
Oh, man. That is one vicious bat for him to be able to pick up a dragon and just take him wherever he wants.
Oh, this is a cool fact. Okay. So, perhaps Atari's most famous employee was a young Steve Jobs, who was put on the night shift because he walked around barefoot and didn't bathe. And that's according to a biographer on Jobs.
Really?
Not sure if that one's true, but I'm going to take it as true.
Interesting. I mean...
I would believe it.
Jobs definitely had his quirks, so yeah, I wouldn't necessarily... Oh no, I think I screwed up. I tried to unlock it, and then I dropped the key, and it's gone now. Yeah, Steve Jobs was quite a character. He was also a really, really brilliant marketing genius. How do I get down to that? There we go. Okay, now I can go. These parts are weird. It's very interesting that, so a lot of these games, for as basic as they are and as, old as they are, they have a lot of, really cool ideas behind them. Like, this whole area where you can only see, it's basically like a darkened cave area where you can only see, what's right around you. And it reveals little parts of it as you move through. Compared to, the rest of the area, the rest of the game. So,
that reminds me of some mini games in Mario games where you have to walk around the castle with the flashlight and you can't see anything. That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see how a lot of the inspirations for future games
we're back
had their
in these original games.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for the early developers that had to come up with ways to do stuff like that with such limited technology and especially limited sprite work, and still try to evoke some sort of form of storytelling. And there was I think there's actually a game called Haunted House that was one of the first ever horror games, which I think we have actually. Obviously because it was pixel based, it wasn't exactly that scary, but well, I died again and I'm stuck in this dragon's stomach. I can kind of almost glitch myself out, but I think that's enough of an adventure. But let's actually move on to...
Let's try Haunted House. Do you have that?
Yeah, I think... I also have Coleco Smurf Rescue in Gargamel's Castle. Pitfall's another one we should probably play at some point before we leave. Where are you, Haunted House? It's here somewhere.
It might be on one of the ones you took out.
There it is. Yeah. Good call. Then she goes down here. I'm definitely going to have to alphabetize these games again when I get home. Okay, Haunted House. I do like the artwork. It's creepy eyes. I'll have to take a picture of this and post it on Twitter later. But it's creepy eyes with 3 bats hanging upside down and a spider.
I don't like that. I don't like anything remotely creepy.
I love horror games and horror stuff in general. So oh yeah, I forgot. It's your character is basically just 2 eyes. You can look around. Ooh, spooky. There you go.
Oh boy.
All right.
I don't know what I'm doing.
So you're those eyes, I think, and you just kind of move around. I think you can find torches and stuff, if I remember correctly. Oh, you have a limited amount of torches that I think help you find items. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, so that's an item that I don't think you would have been able to pick up unless you have that torch on like you currently do. I think the number in the bottom left, one of those two numbers, is the amount of matches you have or whatever. But I do like how they did at least try to capture that.
That's it? That's all I have? It's a small map.
I think you can go down through those parts there. What? Weird.
Oh. Okay.
Got killed by a vicious spider. We're stunned at least. Ah, it's a ghost. Look at that ghost dance.
What do I do to it?
Look at that wiggle.
Can I kill it with a fire? No, I cannot.
I think you just avoid them and try to get items and find your way out. I guess that's supposed to be a bat that's
Looks
freaking
like a
out.
bat. Ah, ghost.
I do like how the ghost dance.
Honestly, this is kind of creepy.
Yeah,
In a very, like, basic way.
Yeah, one thing because they couldn't rely on the graphics, they really had to try to rely on the audio for it. So the only soundtrack, aside from like the lightning when you get hit by stuff and occasional music, is their footsteps.
I don't really hear it. Oh, I got an item. Ah.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy.
I think it shows up more on the stream than. But yeah, it's kind of cool to me how they focused on trying to do the horror more through the sound effects and the atmosphere, building atmosphere through like acoustics, than the graphics. Oh, you probably need a key to get through some of those areas. That's probably, yeah, that's where the matches come in handy, I think, is finding the keys. I don't understand why when you use a match, the number goes up, too, instead of down. Maybe you have an unlimited amount of matches, and you get scored based on how few you use.
I got no idea.
I really wish I still had the manuals, the game manuals to these.
I'm just gonna keep running into the bugs.
I like how the bat and the spider both disappeared after you got hit.
I don't know what that means.
Oh! You're picking up pieces of like an urn or something.
I just made an urn.
So maybe you have to find all the pieces of it before you can leave the house. That's the problem with a lot of these older games too. If you lost the manual or just don't have it anymore, like
It's not very clear as to what to do. Oh, I got another piece.
So yeah, there's different items, but yeah, unless you have the manual that actually tells you exactly the story behind the game and what you're supposed to do, like what the goal is and the gameplay basics. Some of them are pretty self-explanatory, like Space Invaders. But
oh, I don't know what I just did. I like picked it up and put it down.
I think the button allows you to put items down, maybe. And if you run into a different item, you'll swap it out. Like you had the urn before, so now you picked up the urn again. You can only hold one of them at a time, I guess.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I have no clue. But yeah.
Next game?
Because I guess, yeah. I guess because they didn't have enough enough space on the cartridges to really tell you like the story in the background and all like that kind of stuff. And have like the extra tutorial stuff like games nowadays do. Or even with like the NES did. They had to relegate all of that to the actual hard copy game manual that came with it. But if you lost it, you're basically just SOL. Alright, Pitfall. This one's a classic. Maybe eventually we'll end up finding Pong. Probably once we're cleaning up.
I'm telling you, I saw it. I know it was here.
I don't understand where it could have went. It's hiding. So I love our lovely blank blue screen when we're switching out games because of the VCR input. Alright, Pitfall, cooperate. Cooperate, Pitfall. Pitfall. Oh, don't tell me you're another one that I have to clean. No. Yeah. Some of these I probably should have cleaned before I came over, but... Alright, let's try it one more time. If not, we'll try a different game.
We've got enough time for about one more game.
Yeah. It's a lot of classics here, too. Like Berserk.
You pick. I've been picking all of them.
Dark Cavern was pretty good. We could do Smurfs, since I was talking about watching Smurfs at my grandparents'. Ooh, that's another one that looks pretty corroded. I don't know if that one will work.
Give it a try.
Let's try it out. Let's see. Pitfall needs to be cleaned. Smurfs probably gonna need to be cleaned. Frogger needs to be cleaned, that's for sure. Now that I can clean them out better though, yeah, Smurfs is not gonna cooperate either. Okay, so that's unfortunate. Space Attack, Yars Revenge. That's a possible one. Some of these, I think, some of these are harder to clean than others too because they have like a little section on the bottom that kind of hides the actual pins that connect into the Atari. Other ones are missing that, so I don't know if that's just the way that those cartridges were made or if...
Yeah, they're different. I noticed that when I was picking out some games.
Or if they just got broken over the years. I don't know.
Could be either.
Oh, that's an eyesore. Problem is, I don't know if that's what it's supposed to look like. I think it is because, so Yars Revenge is a game in 1981.
It's older.
I think this is the same year as Pac-Man was released on the Atari, if I remember correctly, because I think 1980 was when that Casey Munchkin game came out. And that was supposed to be a year before Atari got to the whole Pac-Man port. So this is, I remember, I think I have the manuals for some of these games at home somewhere too. But this one is basically, what the heck? Why is it not showing up on the screen anymore? It shows up on stream, but I can't see it on the... Weird. Maybe it'll come back once I start the game. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you're a spaceship or like a space... Well, I already died. You're some sort of like space alien flying around and you have to like... So this is like a force field thing that can protect you. But you have to kind of get through and destroy that thing on the other side. You can also eat away at the force field protecting it.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is why I think you're actually like some sort of insectoid alien thing and not a spaceship.
It looks like an insect.
Yeah. I forget the exact like storyline for it. I just remember... Right, so supposedly this thing here protects you from bullets, if I remember correctly, but it also stops you from being able to fire bullets out at other things. So yeah, like that thing would kill me right now, but since I'm in the force field, it's having no effect. It's still following me around and it doesn't disappear, but I don't know if that thing would kill me if it hit me too, but I forget exactly how you're supposed to maybe once it goes into that form, you have to hit it while it's vulnerable like that. Or maybe you just have to destroy all of this. Oh, whoa. I forgot you could loop around. I think with a lot of these old school games... Oh, man. A lot of these old school games, you could kind of... There was no borders on a lot of the screens, so you could just kind of loop around. As long as there was no physical wall that was shown in the game, you could just kind of... No! Whoa, that's close. I think I have to... I think I have to wait until it like turns into that thing and then try to shoot it. If I remember correctly. Oh, come on. Come on. Weird. So, some weird pixels showed up at the left side of the screen.
I noticed that it showed up on our screen, but not on the streaming screen.
Huh.
So I don't know. That might be something like the way last time when we were playing, it had that little glitch in the right corner of the screen. Maybe it's a similar thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Odd. Yeah, because it showed up on the screen again, but it's not on the live stream. Weird. Oh! That's right. Okay. I remember now. You have to touch this thing to make that appear, which you can kind of see now on the stream. And then you have to fire it and hit that thing with it. Like that!
There you go.
Kind of like the torpedoes into the Death Star from Star Wars. You gotta... Oh, weird. I forgot that about the different types of force fields.
This one moves.
Yeah. So you gotta make it nice. Ooh.
Now he can shoot those things at you.
Eat away at the force fields. Come on, come on. Oh, close. Close. Almost got it. So I think that thing can kill you even when you're in here. Yeah. Okay, even in the force field area in the middle, you can still get hit by that spaceship thing going supernova. Alright. I just gotta... Oh! Don't know how that didn't hit me. Okay. Come on. Really? Come on. Yeah! Sounds like I died during the victory cutscene. Alright, yeah, I guess this will probably be our last game for tonight.
So, out of the games we played, what's your favorite?
Oh, man.
Or the ones we didn't play. Either way.
Out of the ones we've played, probably... I gotta go with Pac-Man, I think, out of the ones we've played. It's just such a classic that I feel like Pong might have beaten it out for me if
we were able to find it.
If we were able to play it. But I guess... Alright. Let's see.
I'd probably agree with you. Pac-Man has like a special place in my heart. So that's one of my favorite games, definitely. But I also did like Asteroids. As much as I couldn't really figure it out quite as well as you could, I definitely liked that one. It's so simple but so much fun.
I feel like Asteroids was a really good a really good example of how even as far back as this, they were still able to program things like physics into the game. So technically it was very impressive as well. I do enjoy Yars Revenge a lot, but I also played this a lot as a kid too, so it might just be my nostalgia glasses kind of influencing me.
I've never heard of this one before today.
This is one of those games that, playing as a kid, I never really quite understood exactly what you're supposed to do, because I didn't realize that you could charge up that like super bomb attack, and that's how you killed that final thing. I thought you just had to try to destroy
this
the
little
force
red
field
wall.
and then shoot at or eat the other thing. But once you actually figure out what you're supposed to be doing, it makes a lot more sense and it makes it easier to really manage. I do think Adventure is also another great game, that partially because of memories, but also because, like I said, it's one of the games that I feel had one of the first attempts. I don't remember exactly when it came out, so I might be wrong about that, but I think it was one of the first attempts at really world building in a video game, as opposed to just having like
these basic mini game type games.
Yeah, where like it actually had kind of a storyline and you had to go through multiple levels to do a single goal. Here, you wanna
I'll try.
give it a try?
How do you shoot the thing behind you?
So, it's the same as when you shoot
I just died.
your actual normal shots, just the button. And it'll basically just, I don't think you have to worry about trying to avoid it. You just have to avoid that spirally thing when it fires at you.
Like right now.
It's like a homing attack, and then that slow-moving missile thing that kind of floats around towards you from that direction. So...
And I just flew right into it. I lose 3 lives in 30 seconds.
Like I said, I've used to play this a lot as a kid, and you literally only heard about this game today for the first time, so that I have a little bit of an advantage in that way.
I died. Oh well, I'm gonna try again. Oh wait, I can hit myself with that thing? That I didn't know.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So I just tried to fire it, and it hit me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you have to move out of the way, I guess. Okay. So yeah, out of the games we've played today, I think Pac-Man is probably my number 1. Adventure is number 2, and then probably Asteroids. As much as I enjoy Space Invaders.
I do like this game though. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's got quite a few elements to it. Haha. I was close to breaking through that wall.
Yeah, I like how it gives you different options on how to chip away at the wall too. But then that little guy, that thing's annoying. I always try to basically get that thing towards like the left side of the screen, so I have more time to like react to. Yeah, so when you're inside that force field, you can't fire anything, and that thing won't actually hurt you.
Oh, that's so cool. That's what I was just
That one will, though.
Yeah. You have different like tactics in this game, which is different from the other games we were playing.
Yeah. I think out of if we're also including the ones that we didn't get a chance to play tonight, my number 1 game is probably gotta be, I feel like my top game is probably Pitfall.
Pitfall?
Because that's another one of those games that it has kind of a limited story, but it's like a classic platformer, and you're going through different levels and facing different enemies that change throughout the game as well. Pitfall was really good.
Where's the chargy thing?
You have to go to the right, and then it'll appear. Yeah.
Ah.
You have to basically charge up by going
I
across
have to keep
there.
eating this thing.
Yeah.
I understand.
And then you fire and try to get it lined up with. So.
I still didn't eat enough wall.
You can fire it, it's just it won't shoot when you're inside, like with your regular bullets too. Yeah.
Hey!
Nice. Good job.
Alright, I think we should end on that. I'm gonna end with a positive note.
Positive note. Alright. Alrighty. So if we're including the games that we didn't get a chance to play tonight, Pitfall is probably my number one. I think maybe Jungle Hunt for number 2. I did enjoy that one a lot as a kid. Q*bert is definitely up there, but I don't know if it's top 3. I always have had a soft spot for Dark Cavern, which unfortunately we didn't get to tonight, but that was a 1982 game, and I don't think it would have worked tonight anyway, unfortunately. That's another one I got to clean out. But yeah, I think those are my top 3 in general for Atari. Pitfall, Jungle Hunt, and then Dark Cavern. Are there any games that we didn't play tonight that you would put in your top 3? Or
Probably not, because I don't know too many of these other games. So
there's always Frogger as well.
I've played Frogger, not on the Atari, but like on other systems where it was very similar.
Yeah.
And I do like Frogger a lot.
Frogger is really good. Pong is definitely up there too. I don't know if top 3, but it's another really addictive game. And Breakout is another good one, where it's basically like single player Pong, except vertical instead of horizontal. And you have to like chip away at the blocks at the top of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, would you say that you think the Atari is held up, especially compared to like modern day systems? Or do you think it's more of like a nostalgic type thing?
I think it's more nostalgic. I think that the games are still just as fun to play because of their simplicity, but if they sold these games today, they would absolutely not hold up.
They would need to do a remastered version. I definitely agree with that. Just both graphic-wise and also like from a sound standpoint, and even from like...
Honestly, the colors are bothersome to me.
Yeah.
Like the screens are not easy to look at when you play.
Yeah, especially with the... they're a little muted on the stream, it looks like, but like from what we're actually seeing in person, imagine what you're seeing on the stream, but even more vivid and bright and like headache inducing.
So that's what we're looking at.
There's a lot of flashing colors. This was obviously made in a time before epilepsy was really well understood, and the whole like flashing lights and the effect that can have on people was really known about to the extent that it is now. But yeah, for like, especially because these graphics are supposed to be eye-catching, but they're also in a lot of ways very migraine-inducing if you look at them for too long. And just a lot of the color schemes are very weird combinations of colors too, like very like bright mixed with dull, and like just a lot of really ugly browns and stuff. So from a graphics standpoint, I don't think it's held up as well as some of the other systems, like even the original Nintendo.
Yeah.
I feel like it had a really good aesthetic to it, where
the combinations of colors weren't as irritating.
Yeah, they were. The combinations of colors were really well done, and even the pixel art and the sprite work
was better.
Was a lot better, and a lot of that's technical limitations, but like I feel like some of the colors.
I think they were probably
weren't.
here trying to just use their color palette as much as they were able to, and in that process, it kind of ruins the game a bit for me.
Yeah. Overall, I'm glad I own it still, but yeah, I don't necessarily think it's stood the test of time as well as some of the other retro systems that we'll be looking at in future episodes. On that note, I think that's basically everything we have for tonight. Did forget to mention earlier on, I think I forgot to mention at least. Down in the description below, there is a link to another survey. Next week, we're going to be taking a look at the Sega Genesis system. And unfortunately, we don't have I haven't gotten the chance to get my actual Sega Genesis working, but I do have an At Games re-release, like the Sega Genesis Flashback that I had picked up a while back, that plays Sega Genesis game cartridges, as well as has a bunch of games preloaded onto it. I know there have been some issues with the At Game system having the sound effects and soundtrack slightly off compared to the original hardware. So that's unfortunate, but that's what we have to work with. But there's a survey link down in the description that has a list of all the different games we have access to for it. So make sure you pop down there and vote on what games you want to see us play for next week. We'll probably be doing it around the same time, the next Friday, 5:30 Eastern p.m. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Tune in next Friday.
And have a happy Halloween for everybody that actually celebrates it, because that'll be Wednesday, so that'll be before we actually live stream on Friday. And yeah, hope you guys have a great night. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. I like how we have. That's a great outro. Just random sirens in the background.
That's a daily thing. Like 10 times a day at minimum. Because like all the fire alarms go off.
Yeah.
In all the dorms. And there's so many dorms.
Oh, I remember that, yeah. On that note, bye!